At my father-in-law's funeral, my husband handed me a folded napkin during the eulogy. Inside was a note. Once the will is read, let's finally get that Tesla. My hands trembled. His dad had died yesterday, and he was already salivating over the inheritance. That was the moment I realized I married a parasite wearing a wedding band. My name's Marla. I'm 34, and until last fall, I thought I was living a quiet but stable life with my husband, Declan. We lived in a modest townhouse outside Asheville, North Carolina. We weren't rich, but we weren't struggling either. Declan worked as a home theater installer, and I was an A nurse. Long shifts, weird hours, but I loved the job. It made me feel like I mattered. Then came the night the hospital called me during my break. Your father-in-law's been brought in, they said. Heart failure. He didn't make it. My legs went numb. The man who'd once taught me how to make the perfect ribs, who sent me birthday cards signed from your second dad, was gone. I rushed to the trauma unit, still in my scrubs, just to sit near him one last time. But Declan, he didn't cry. He didn't even look shaken. His first question was, did they say anything about a will? At first, I thought it was just shock talking, but then came the funeral. While the priest was delivering the eulogy, Declan leaned over and passed me that napkin. His handwriting was unmistakable. So was the cold calculation behind it. I stared at the note, then at him. He winked. I didn't say anything. I couldn't. My throat had locked up. I tucked the napkin into my coat pocket and sat in silence. A storm had started inside me, and it was only beginning to swirl. Declan's father, Robert Calloway, had been a machinist who eventually owned his own small company. Quiet guy, not flashy, but smart. Everyone assumed he lived modestly out of habit. Turns out, he'd invested early in industrial automation and sold the business 5 years before retiring. According to family lore, he'd pocketed a 7-figure sum. Declan never shut up about it. He's probably got $1 million stashed in some secret account, he once joked. And guess who's the only son? That joke turned serious after the funeral. 3 days later, we met with Mr. Withers, the attorney handling the estate. The guy looked like someone who ironed his socks. Neat gray suit, wire-rimmed glasses, perfectly parted hair. He cleared his throat dramatically, like he was preparing to drop a bomb. Robert Calloway's estate will be distributed per his revise. Instructions, dated October 3rd of last year. Declan leaned forward like a predator sniffing blood. Mr. Withers continued. Declan Calloway is named sole inheritor of the house and personal belongings, contingent on one stipulation, that he remain married to his current spouse for no less than 1 year following Robert's death. Declan blinked. I froze. Did I just hear that right? 1 year? Declan scoffed. Correct, Mr. Withers nodded. Your father stipulated that if you divorce Marla within that year, your portion will be redirected entirely to the local children's hospital. I glanced at Declan. His jaw was tight. His hands clenched into fists, the skin around his knuckles pale. But the storm hadn't hit full strength yet. Not even close. For 2 weeks, Declan was the picture-perfect husband. Breakfast in bed, flowers, even foot rubs after double shifts. He washed dishes without being asked. Said things like, we should take a weekend trip soon, just us. With a warm smile that didn't reach his eyes, but his mask was slipping. One night, I caught him reading Quickest Ways to Divorce after inheritance on his iPad. He'd fallen asleep with it still open in the browser. I stared at the screen for a long time. Then I quietly took a photo with my phone.evidence.decla and wanted out. He just didn't want to wait 12 months to get that money. Things got weirder. He started texting late at night, always smiling at his phone. He said it was work stuff, but I wasn't born yesterday. I saw the way he'd hide the screen if I walked past. One night, around 11 p.m., his phone lit up while he was in the shower. I don't normally snoop, but that night, I picked it up. Message from a number saved as G, counting down the days, baby. Once you cash in, we're home free. My hand was shaking. I opened the full thread. Dozens of texts. Explicit ones, photos, plans. He was cheating. Planning to ditch me after the money landed. I sat down on our bed, his stupid aftershave stinging my nose, and cried harder than I had in years. Not out of heartbreak. That had already been hollowed out of me. I cried because I once believed this man would protect me from the world, and instead, he'd sharpened his claws the moment money got involved. I didn't scream. I didn't. Confront him that night. I planned. The next morning, I made Declan pancakes. He ate them like nothing was wrong, thanking me with a kiss on the cheek. I smiled back, but inside, I was building my revenge. I knew I had to act fast. If Declan was already plotting the exit, I couldn't afford to just wait and pray. No, I had 12 months to make sure that when he walked away, he'd leave with nothing but regret. So I started my game. Step 1, play. Dumb. That wasn't hard. I'd spent years pretending not to notice Declan's wandering eyes, his business dinners with no receipts, the perfume that wasn't mine on his jacket sleeves. I just had to keep doing what I'd done too well. For too long, smile, nod, and make him feel like he was getting away with it. I went full step for wife, cooked every meal, made the bed like we were in a hotel. I even started baking. Declan bragged about it to his coworkers. Marla's really stepped up since Dad passed, he told them during a barbecue. She's finally treating this marriage like a partnership. I almost laughed. Meanwhile, I was tracking everything. Every suspicious purchase, every Venmo transaction, every late-night call to G. I even installed a keystroke tracker on our shared desktop. I'm not proud, but when you're married to a snake, you better learn how to shed your own skin. That's how I discovered her name, Gianna Beeks, a Pilates instructor from Fayetteville with a tongue stud, 3 eviction notices, and a public OnlyFans.classy. I found her Instagram. It was a carefully curated collection of duck lips, gym selfies, and captions like, "Secure the bag." And lo and behold, Declan was liking every photo. Even the ones from 2 years ago. God, he wasn't just cheating. He was simping. Almost threw my phone across the kitchen. But I stopped myself. Because rage is useless unless it's weaponized. That night, Declan came home with sushi. My favorite. I thought we could do a movie night, he said sweetly, placing the takeout on the table. Just us. I nodded. Sounds perfect. Inside, I was screaming, but outside, I was perfect. Loving, gentle, a wife so devoted it was. Almost suspicious. Almost a week later, I called Gianna. She answered on the second ring. Hello? I kept my voice calm, steady. Hi, this is Marla Calloway, Declan's wife. There was a pause, then a sharp inhale. Oh, I repeated. Yeah, thought we should talk. Woman to woman. She didn't hang up. She laughed. I didn't expect that. Well, damn, she said. I figured you'd call sooner or later. You knew about me. Of course, Declan said you guys were practically over. He said he was only staying for legal reasons. I smiled into the phone. He'd tell you what those legal reasons were. No. Just that his dad's estate was complicated. Right, I said, my voice colder now. Because if he divorces me in the next 11 months, he gets nothing. Not the house. Not the bank account. Not even the rusty toolbox in the garage. Gianna went silent. I leaned in. So you might want to consider that before booking that beach vacation he promised you. I didn't know it was like that. Oh, I believe you. But now you do. And since you do, maybe you'll think twice before helping him screw me over. She hung up good. Thought now she was rattled. But Declan? He was still living in a fantasy world. A few days later, he brought home champagne. Got a promotion, he said, grinning. Celebration. Time. We toasted. He kissed me like everything was perfect. And then, the bomb dropped. 2 nights later, I got a notification from our shared bank account. $5,000 transferred to an unknown account labeled GBEKKs89. I sat straight up in bed. That idiot. He wired her money. From our joint account. I snapped a screenshot, then another. Then checked the withdrawal history. He'd been siphoning small amounts, $500 here, $750. They're masking it under labels like home repairs and vet bills. We don't even own a pet. My stomach twisted. The betrayal felt so personal, so calculated. He wasn't even trying to hide it anymore. And yet, he was still pretending to love me. So I gave him another kiss. Another warm dinner. Another goodnight cuddle. Then I called my lawyer. Her name was Rochelle Simmons, and she was a beast in heels. You've got a timeline, she said bluntly, and we need to nail his ass to the wall before he figures out what you're doing. We started building the file. Financial abuse, infidelity, fraud. I gave her everything, screenshots, texts, bank records, even the napkin from the funeral. She raised an eyebrow at that one. This guy's got the emotional range of a toaster. Worse, I muttered. A broken one. Then, like fate was finally tired of giving me slaps and started giving me tools. Gianna reached out via DM. Hey, I think I need to show you something. She sent screenshots, messages between her and Declan, plans, promises, even his threats if she told me. He said he'd ruin my credit, she wrote. Said he'd make sure I never taught Pilates again. I stared at the screen. This was it. Declan was toast, and I was just getting warmed up. Declan had no idea the walls were closing in. He still strutted around like he was the king of our crumbling castle. Still kissed me on the cheek before heading off to work. Still texted Gianna under dumb names like G-Force and Lake. Gay. Still thought he was 10 steps ahead. But I wasn't just steps ahead anymore. I was running laps. My lawyer, Rochelle, built a case so tight it could have been gift wrapped. Bank fraud? Check. Hidden assets? Double check. Emotional manipulation, coercion, and marital misrepresentation. Triple threat, but I wasn't done. Wanted more than divorce papers and a clean bank account. I wanted Declan to suffer. First, I planted the seeds. I told him I was thinking about going back to school, a master's in trauma nursing. Something to make mom proud. I even showed him fake acceptance emails. Declan smiled. That's amazing, babe. With dad's money coming, we'll be set. I almost choked on my tea. Right, I said sweetly. Set. He didn't ask a single question about tuition or timing. He just assumed the inheritance was in the bag and soon. That's when I dropped the match. I invited his mother, Lorraine, over for Sunday brunch. She adored me, and she hated surprises. We sat at the dining table, sun streaming in, everything perfect, mimosas, cinnamon rolls, even Declan pretending to be a presentable human. Then I said, so Lorraine, we have some. Big news. She leaned in. Oh? Declan looked at me, startled. I smiled. Declan and I are planning to renew our vows. Just a small ceremony. Close friends and family. Lorraine gasped with joy. Declan's mouth fell open. What? You said you wanted a fresh start, I said sweetly. So let's do it. Lorraine clapped her hands. This is wonderful. I watched him squirm. He was trapped. If he said no, he'd look suspicious. If he said yes, well, I had plans for that event. After she left, Declan cornered me in the kitchen. What are you doing? I'm giving you what you want, I said coolly. Commitment, optics, the illusion that we're solid until the inheritance is legally yours. Isn't that the plan? His eyes narrowed. Are you mocking me? No, just being a good wife. You didn't know what to say. I did. Next came operation. Implosion. With Gianna's help. Yes, she flipped. Hard. She showed up one evening in a hoodie and sunglasses, looking like she was about to enter witness protection. This is everything, she said, dumping a USB drive on my coffee table. Text, photos, voice notes. One particularly disgusting video of Declan shirtless, lip-syncing to 90s R&B while promising her they'd be rich by Christmas. I can't believe I fell for him, she groaned. Join the club, I muttered. Then I smiled. Want to make this fun? She looked up. Fun how? Public, ugly, poetic. She grinned. God, I liked her. 2 weeks later, I booked a local event venue. Nothing fancy. Just a renovated barn with chandeliers and a DJ. I told Declan it was for our vow renewal. Intimate. I said, 50 people max. He didn't question it. Why would he? He was already dreaming of his post-divorce Portia. The guest list included old friends, extended family, and Declan's co-workers, especially his boss, who thought Declan was a financial genius, and Gianna. She came disguised as a caterer's assistant. No one blinked. The night arrived. Everyone dressed to impress. The air smelled of cheap roses and vanilla candles. Declan wore a pale gray suit. I wore white, fitted, fierce, and designed to make an exit. The DJ queued up soft jazz. Then Rochelle stepped onto the tiny stage, holding a mic. Ladies and gentlemen, she said, before the happy couple reaffirms their love, there's a short presentation from the bride. Declan's face twisted. What? I smiled. The lights dimmed. The projector screen lit up. Slide 1, a bank statement. Declan's wire transfers to Gianna. Slide 2, screenshots of their messages. Can't wait to be free. Once the wheel clears, it's you and me, baby. Gasp filled the room. Slide 3, the video. Declan shirtless, singing to the camera, slurring. We're gonna bleed that nurse dry, G. His boss stood up. What the hell is this? Declan turned white. I stepped forward. This, friends, is the man I married. A liar, a cheater, a gold digger with the emotional maturity of a middle schooler. He planned to leave me the second he got his payout. Murmurs. Laughter. One of his cousins slow clapped. Declan lunged toward me. You psycho! 2 security guys hired by me blocked. Him, I kept going. I filed for divorce, I said calmly. Effective immediately. Rochelle will be serving the papers tonight. And just like that, he was done. The inheritance? Still locked away. And he? Still legally married for now, with nothing to show but his humiliation. Gianna winked from the back of the room. My revenge was just beginning. Declan didn't show his face for 3 days after the vow renewal massacre, as my best friend dubbed it. And who could blame him? One moment, he was standing in front of friends and family, preparing to fake a loving commitment. The next, he was exposed on a 120-inch screen as a shirtless, cheating, money-hungry joke. His mom cried. His boss stormed out. His cousin posted the whole slideshow on TikTok. It hit 200,000 views by the next morning. The internet never forgets. DECLAN. By the time he finally slithered home, he looked like a ghost. Eyes sunken, tie crooked. The walk of shame from the back entrance of hell. You ruined me, he whispered. As he stepped inside, I was drinking tea on the couch, flipping through a home decor magazine. Correction, I said without looking up. You ruined yourself. I just gave the world a front row seat. He sank into a chair like a toddler who missed nap time. I've been suspended from work, he muttered. I raised an eyebrow. Shocking. Apparently, financially bleed your wife dry isn't part of the corporate culture these days. He didn't respond. He didn't have to. His silence said it all. He was unraveling, and I wasn't done. The next morning, I had to. Locks change? Declan tried to argue, but Rochelle had already filed a protection clause due to emotional manipulation and financial misconduct. Legally, I could evict him until the divorce was finalized. Where am I supposed to go? He demanded. I shrugged. I hear Gianna's couch is lovely this time of year. He had the nerve to look offended. After everything we've been through, everything you faked, I snapped. You used me like a human ATM. You planned to dump me the second the cash hit the account. Do you really think you're the victim here? His face twisted, but I didn't care. I handed him a duffel bag I'd already packed, 3 shirts, 2 pairs of jeans, 1 broken man. Bye, Declan. He stood on the porch in disbelief, holding his sad little bag, until I shut the door in his face. That was the last time I saw him in person. But oh, the updates rolled and fast.Gianna moved on publicly. Her Instagram now featured a new guy, a firefighter, muscles for days. Real employment. She even posted a TikTok. When your ex was a liar, but you used his downfall to buy new leggings. The comments were savage. As for Declan, his suspension turned permanent. His company released a statement disavowing his behavior and reaffirming values of integrity. Translation: we don't want our name near this dumpster fire. And guess what? Turns out Declan was drowning in debt. Like Titanic-level drowning. He maxed out 3 credit cards, funding trips, gifts, and whatever nonsense he promised Gianna. The luxury he flaunted was borrowed, stolen from our shared funds. I sec Rochelle everything. She filed a fraud claim, and we froze the accounts. Declan's response? A text at 2:14 a.m. Can we talk? I miss us. Please. I stared at it, then screen captured and forwarded to Rochelle with one word: pathetic. Then I blocked his number. A week later, I got the final call. Rochelle sounded smug. He signed, she said. No contest. He walked away with nothing. The inheritance? Mine. Every cent. He gave up the house, the car, even the damn blender. The idiot didn't realize Mom Calloway had built the will like a fortress. No loopholes, no appeals, just consequences. And me? I started fresh, sold the house, took a road trip alone. Arizona, Utah, drove with the windows down, music blasting, screaming out lyrics like I just escaped a cult. I danced in hotel rooms. I ate dessert for breakfast. I lived. And then I bought my dream condo. Exposed brick, city view, bookshelves that reached the ceiling. Declan's memory didn't exist within those walls. He, meanwhile, popped up in the comments section of a Facebook post about financial scams. His profile pic was gone. Just a gray silhouette. And the only reaction I had: laughter, loud, ugly, liberating. Laughter, because he thought he was the wolf in this story. But he forgot. Wolves don't stand a chance against a woman who's already survived fire. Life after Declan was quiet, not empty. Not sad, just peacefully quiet. Got no more slamming drawers, no more fake compliments, no more cold stares across the dinner table while pretending to be fine. For the first time in 8 years, I breathed. Really breathed. Mornings were mine. I'd wake up to sunlight, not tension. I made coffee the way I liked it, black, strong, no guilt trip about wasting beans. I played music while folding laundry. I took long showers. I danced barefoot in the kitchen. It was glorious. I started therapy. Twice a month with a woman named Ava who looked like she'd seen every kind of heartbreak and survived it all. She didn't sugarcoat things. You weren't loved, she said on the second session. You were leverage. Damn, that hit. I cried for an hour. Then I got angry. But the anger was good. It was clean. Like bleach wiping down a rotting countertop. That fury burned away the part of me that once asked, was it my fault? No, it wasn't. And I finally believed it. I also started volunteering at a local women's shelter. I sat with women who'd lost everything. Told them they weren't crazy for falling for charm that turned toxic. I didn't share my full story, but my voice shook less each time. I said, you'll be okay. Stronger, even. One night, I came home to a letter. No stamp. No return address. Just my name on the front. I almost tossed it, but curiosity won. Inside. A folded sheet of printer paper. You ruined my life. I hoped the money was worth it. D, no signature. No apology. No awareness. Typical Declan. He still thought he was the victim. I laughed out loud. It felt so good. I laughed again. Harder. He wanted to break me. Too late. I took a photo of the note, sent it to Rochelle, and tossed it into the trash without a second thought. But what I didn't expect was what came next. I met someone. His name was Julian. We bumped into each other at the hardware store. I was hunting for new cabinet handles. He was covered in sawdust and carrying a piece of lumber. Like a man on a mission, we reached for the same drawer pull. Our hands touched. Classic movie moment. Except instead of romantic sparks, I sneezed hard. Right in his face. Sorry. I gasped. He wiped his cheek with a smirk. Bless you. You've got great aim. I laughed. And for the first time in what felt like forever, it wasn't fake. It was real, warm, weird. He offered to help carry my stuff to the car. Then he asked me to coffee. We talked for 2 hours. Julian was different, soft-spoken, steady. He built furniture by hand. He'd never been married. He loved dogs, hated raisins, and had a laugh that made my stomach flip. But I didn't fall headfirst. No more blind trust. I was cautious, careful, watchful. And Julian respected that. He never pushed, never rushed. He listened. When I finally told him about Declan, he didn't flinch, just nodded slowly and said, sounds like he underestimated the wrong woman. Something in me healed right then. Weeks passed. We dated quietly, and I was happy. Until one morning, sipping tea on my balcony, my phone buzzed. An unknown number. Voicemail. I played it. And froze. Hey, this is Eric. I work with Declan. Or worked. Look, I know this is weird, but I thought you should know he's planning something. Said something about contesting the estate again. Said he found a loophole. Sounded nuts. Just be careful. I stood completely still, cup halfway to my lips. Seriously. Again? He was coming back from the grave. I called Rochelle. She laughed hard. There's no loophole. He's grasping at air. But if he pushes this, we'll bury him legally. I nodded. Do it, I said. You want to play a fence? No, I said. I want to finish the damn game. The old fire returned. That flame I banged for months. And this time, it wasn't just about defending myself. It was about making sure Declan never got a chance to hurt me or anyone ever again. So I started digging. And what I found was going to blow his life wide open. I wanted to believe Declan would disappear like a bad dream. But no, some men don't crawl away, they claw. And Declan? He clawed with desperation. The voicemail from his ex-coworker was just the beginning. Within a week, I got a letter from his new lawyer, cheap, aggressive, and riddled with typos. They claimed Declan had new information that entitled him to half the inheritance. That he had unjustly been deprived of assets due to manipulative actions by the petitioner. The petitioner, me. Rochelle, was fuming. This is laughable, she said. But dangerous. If we don't shut this down hard, he'll drag it through the mud just to stay relevant. I didn't hesitate. Let's end him, she grinned. With pleasure. So we got to work.c. Declan was dumb. But not in the harmless way. He was arrogant dumb, the kind of stupid that thinks it's brilliant, and that's exactly why he left a trail of financial crime, him fraudulent credit card charges under my name, falsified invoices sent to clients from his old job, tax filings with fictional deductions, a business he never registered, a laptop he never bought, and meals with Gianna billed as client meetings. Oh, Declan, you wanted to play dirty. So Be It. Rochelle compiled a 92-page report. We sent it to the IRS, then to his former employer, and finally to a local reporter who loves stories about white-collar idiots playing dress-up in business suits. The article dropped on a Thursday afternoon. Local man under investigation for financial fraud. Wife's testimony crushes claims. It went viral by Friday morning. His mugshot, front and center. That same smug face except this time, bloated and bruised by karma. Comments were savage. This guy tried to cheat his wife and the government. Hope he enjoys prison oatmeal. He should have stuck to stealing hearts on Tinder. But that wasn't the explosion. The explosion came when Declan's mother sweet, Bible-quoting Lorraine called me in tears. I had no idea, Marla, she whispered. I thought he was just lost. I didn't know he was evil. That hit harder than I expected. I'm sorry, I told her. For all of it, she sniffled. Don't be. I'm proud of you. You did what I never could. Declan was arrested 2 weeks later. He tried to skip town, booked a flight under the name Alan Deeps. Seriously? Deeps? They caught him at the gate, trying to board with a fake mustache and a hoodie like he was auditioning for a Netflix documentary. The trial wasn't long. The evidence spoke for itself. Fraud, identity theft, tax evasion. He took a plea deal. 2 years in state prison. No parole. Gianna posted a TikTok of herself popping champagne with the caption, "Guess who won't be sliding into your D-Miz this year?" Honestly, she earned that celebration. As for me, I moved forward. Julian, and I got serious. But no rings, no rush, no contracts. We live in separate condos, have separate bank accounts, and date like two people who've seen things. I kept volunteering. I started a blog, Love, Lies, and Lemon Cake. It's part therapy, part cautionary tale, part dessert recipes. Turns out, the internet loves it. One post titled, "My husband tried to scam me. Now I eat croissants in peace." Got over 1 million views, but the best moment? It came on a random Wednesday. I was walking through the park near my condo. Bright morning, hot coffee in hand, headphones in. And then, I saw him. Decl. Picking up trash with an orange vest. Prison issued. Face pale. Eyes down. No swagger. No schemes. Just a man who gambled and lost everything. He saw me. I stopped. He froze. I took a sip of my coffee. Then I smiled. A small, polite, absolutely victorious smile. And I walked away. I didn't need words. He knew. And he'll remember that smile for the rest of his miserable life. Because I didn't just survive him. I buried him with the truth. And I walked away rich, free, and more powerful than he'll ever be. Checkmate. Declan. Game over. That's the end of today's story. Did things turn out the way you thought? Or were there some surprises along the way? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you haven't joined the community yet, now's the perfect time. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you're always the first to catch new stories. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you in the next adventure.